questions for Nickolas.
I don't like talking about it, but I used to be really bad on benzos, and so I had ran out, and like I was going through withdrawals really bad, and I robbed the pharmacy. He was having me pass around this envelope from cell to cell, and then like I was giving him canteen from those cells for like whatever was in this envelope. But like one day the curiosity got the better of me and I wanted to know what it was. And so I looked and it was one of the bodies and he was selling it to the other inmates so they could jack. Okay. So, I went to jail for a burglary charge, and in order to get time reduced off of my sentence, I became a trustee. And where I was housed, they needed workers at a different facility, which is where they had the high risk inmates such as Wade and more dangerous people. So they moved me over there, and technically my job was laundry. But the floor that laundry was on was also the same floor where they housed all the dangerous inmates. So another job that they gave us was to like whenever food came, we had to feed them, or if they ever needed their clothes washed or new blankets, sheets, whatever, I had to get it for them. And so I talked to Wade on like an almost daily basis. Why I reached out to you, like my girlfriend knows Brandon. And the reason why like I wanted to reach out to you is because like some of the things that he was saying about his personal life like weren't true. The things that he was saying about Wade, however, like they were true, but like there's more to it, as we briefly spoke about. Like he did have the photos on his cell wall, like almost as if he was proud of it. And so one day I had asked to borrow like he had a subscription to a men's health magazine. I had asked him if I could borrow one of his magazines to read because I was bored, just you just sit in the laundry room doing nothing all day. So I wanted something to read. So I asked him for some reading material. He gave me this magazine. So I'm flipping through the magazine and I get like halfway through it and there's a bookmark and it's a folded up piece of paper. And I open up this piece of paper and it's the picture of the girl with her chest cavity. It is disgusting.
Wow.
Seem to be using that as a bookmark. Like, obviously, he must be proud of his crimes. Like, that's the only thing I can get from that. Okay, so there was another girl whose body he did it badly. And so in the previous video with Brandon, you had asked him like, how he got the pictures. And it's because of the discovery. They give you the discovery so you can build your case, your defense. And so they give you pictures, and so in the pictures was the autopsies of the girls, and so one of the girls, like her body, like wasn't completely mutilated; it was her naked body, and he would like I didn't know this for the longest time, but like he was having me pass around this envelope from cell to cell, and then like I was giving him canteen from those cells for like whatever was in this envelope. But like one day the curiosity got the better of me and I wanted to know what it was, and so I looked and it was one of the bodies and he was selling it to the other inmates so they could jack, but he wasn't telling them that it was a dead.
Did it look like the bedroom to you?
Not, I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell, like, unless you knew what he was in there for. And like, if you really looked at the picture, like, you could tell towards the bottom of her body, like, the blood had kind of like pulled down to the bottom, and it was like darker at the bottom of her. Like a couple soups, like $2. It was for canteen, not actual money. I would take the picture, give it to whatever cell, get the canteen from that cell and bring it back to him, and then he would give me canteen for doing that.
Did you and Wade ever have any like conversations? Like, what was he like?
To be honest, he seemed like a really cool dude, which is actually fucking terrifying because like he comes across as like really friendly and outgoing, and like he like once you like think about like what he did and what he's capable, like how he can hide behind that facade, like it just makes you wonder, like how many, I don't know, like how many people on a daily basis you come in contact with that could be like that. Yeah, and in the previous video with Brandon, he had mentioned about how he had groupies or whatever, and that's like 100% true. So like one of the other trustees that worked with me actually was friends with Wade from the street. But like, so like he did show my friend his commissary account. He had tens of thousands of dollars in his account from these girls, just seeing him from the news or on the internet. They just put money on his account, and he had so much canteen. So he had probably like a 10 to by 12-foot cell, and just one wall from wall to wall, floor to ceiling, just soups and food just stacked all the way to the top. Like it was crazy. I mean, yeah, he was doing that, but after a while, like someone had realized that it was a dead girl's body, and then he told all the other inmates on the floor that it was a dead girl's body, and so that came to an end real quick. But for a few weeks there, like that was going on. Okay, so like in the county that I'm from, there's like a downtown jail and then like a county jail. And I believe at first he was at the county jail and he tried to escape from there. And so they moved him to the downtown jail where there's cells that have like no windows and stuff. And then like when he got transferred downtown, that's when I became trustee. That's where I got transferred to, was downtown. So like, yeah.
You said that some of the things that Brandon said about himself were not true. Could you please go into more detail about that?
I mean, like it's just Brandon's personal life that he was I mean, I don't know Brandon, okay? It was my girl. My girlfriend is the one who knows him personally. I don't want to say her name, so I don't want to start. Do you remember what he was saying about himself? Like, was it true? Like,
Did your girlfriend and Brandon date?
no, they didn't date.
Oh,
You know him. Message. Fucking me. Oh, okay. I guess like they only hung out like one time. Like he had hit her up on Facebook and she went to go hang out with him, and what, he was just like really weird. Yeah, really high on meth and stuff.
oh wow.
I guess he was like crawling through bushes and I don't know, some kind of crazy stuff. But like I remember during the video, like there were certain things that he said, and she was like, "That's a lie." Like that, uh, the things that he said about Wade, as far as like having the pictures of the girl's heart, like that was all true. He was just bullshitting about himself. I don't
Okay.
know. He was completely isolated. Like after he had that escape attempt, they put him in a cell by himself with no windows. Like he had no contact other than like the COs and then the trustees that fed him up, like me. Yeah, yeah, I did. Actually, that's another reason why I knew how much money he had in there, because like he would ask me or my one friend, to check his messages for him, and like we did that because like he would give us like soups or whatever just to check the messages. Yeah. So I don't like talking about it, but I used to be really bad on benzos, and so I had ran out, and like I was going through withdrawals really bad, and I robbed the pharmacy. Uh, it was after hours when they were closed. Uh, yeah, that's what I was at for.
So how long did you get for that?
Well, I mean, at first they offered me 6 months straight jail time with justification withheld, which I wish I would have took. But at the time, like I ended up doing good. Like I ended up getting my shit together, and then the charge caught up with me later. And so like I had a job and stuff at the time and was doing good. And so instead of taking the jail time, I took probation, and then I ended up violating, and because I violated, they ended up trying to give me a year, which I mean still really isn't bad for what I did. But I told him, I was like, listen, I was like, y'all originally offered me 6 months. I was like, now you're giving me a year. I was like, if you give me 9 months, I'll plead out today. So that's what I did. They were trying to put me back on probation. Like I told them no. Like people don't know this. Like you don't have to take what they're offering you. Like you can ask for whatever you want.
Oh, what ethnicity is she? Is she black? Is she Dominican? What's
Puerto Rican and but I just wanted to make sure like the truth was out there, and like I felt like this is something that people needed to know about, because I feel like once they learn what I've just spoken about in this video, hopefully they're not, as fangirly as they are towards him, because this is not something someone should be proud of. Like you shouldn't use a girl's heart as bookmark, like selling her another dead body, like where people have been jacked to, like
how did you find my channel?
well, Brandon's Facebook, because my girlfriend, she knows. And then I guess he had posted the video, and you know, that's how I seen your video, and that's why I reached out to you, because I just wanted to correct, some of the. Oh, well, first of all, because he was lying about himself, I didn't want, because like if someone was lying about their personal life, like you don't know what else they're gonna lie about. So I just wanted, about the keeping the pictures, that was 100% true.
You said when your girlfriend hung out with Brandon, he was high out of his mind on meth.
Yeah, his high on meth and tried to get her to go through some bushes with him or something. I don't.
You said that you used to be on benzos. Have you ever done meth?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I've done it, but I'm not a upper fan. Like I like my weed and benzos. Like I like to be down.
Okay, Nickolas. So thank you so much for being here. Keep your head up. I'm gonna post the Cash App. Okay.
Thanks, man. It was good talking to you.
Later.